If you've ever been treated like the outsider in your own family, this story is for you. Because sometimes the people who call you selfish are the same ones who've lived off your kindness for years. And when you finally stop paying their bills, they call it betrayal. But for me, it was freedom. My name is Madison Cole, I'm 27, and last Thanksgiving, my mom sent me one text that changed everything. It said, "You're banned from Thanksgiving until you apologize." No explanation, no call, no emotion. Just a line that sliced deeper than any argument ever could. At first, I laughed. Not the funny kind of laugh, the hollow kind, the one that comes when pain turns into clarity. I didn't respond. I just shut my wallet on their holiday and decided, for once, I'd celebrate my peace instead of their chaos. 3 days later, while they carved turkey without me, the bills I'd been quietly paying for years hit them hard. The Wi-Fi went out, the car insurance lapsed, and their mortgage payment bounced. My phone lit up with 87 missed calls. That was the moment they realized love wasn't the only thing I'd been giving them. For years, I'd been the silent helper. When Dad got laid off, I covered the mortgage, just for a month. When Mom's car broke down, I paid for the repairs, just until things got better. But things never got better, they just got quieter. My help became their expectation. My money became their lifeline. I was the responsible one, the quiet achiever, the one who never said no. My cousin Dylan was the opposite, loud, charming, and useless. He called himself an entrepreneur, but all he did was bounce between sales jobs and side hustles. Mom adored him. "Be more like Dylan," she'd say every holiday, even as I silently covered his debts. Last Thanksgiving, everything exploded. I was in the family group chat, scrolling through messages about dinner plans, when I realized my name wasn't there. No invite, no mention. When I asked about it, Dylan replied with a smirking emoji and said, "Limited seating. Maybe Christmas if you behave." My stomach dropped. I texted Mom privately. She replied, "You embarrassed Dylan last time. We just want a peaceful holiday." Embarrassed him? All I did was ask why he owed me $1,200. Apparently, truth was ruder than deceit in my family. So I called her. I could hear laughter and clinking glasses in the background. My entire family together without me. "You're not invited until you apologize," she said coldly. I asked, "For what?" "For asking to be respected." And someone in the background, I think it was my aunt, said, "There she goes again, Miss Perfect." That was it. Something in me broke. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I just said, "Then pay your own bills," and hung up. They didn't know it, but their power, water, and phone plans were all under my name, the same girl they just banned from dinner. By Black Friday, they were texting me non-stop. "Did you cancel the Wi-Fi? Why did the insurance payment fail? The mortgage bounced. What did you do?" I didn't answer. I spent that weekend in a cabin outside the city, drinking coffee by a fire, watching snow fall, finally breathing. When I got back, the chaos had hit full force. Mom left voicemails crying. Dad sounded angry, saying, "This isn't how family treats each other." Dylan posted on social media about snakes in the family. The irony made me laugh. But then came the part one didn't expect, the silence. Days turned into weeks. No calls. No texts. No fake smiles. Just quiet. And it felt good. For the first time, my mind wasn't racing about how to fix everyone else's problems. I started sleeping through the night. I started eating real meals, not microwave dinners between calls from family members needing a small favor. Then, 3 weeks later, my dad texted, "Can we talk?" Things got bad. I didn't want to, but something told me to go. When I arrived at the old house, Mom's eyes were red. Dad looked smaller, older. The house felt colder, like the laughter had drained out with the heat. "We're behind on the mortgage," he said. Dylan said he'd handle it, but he didn't. I stayed quiet. "We didn't realize how much you did for us," Mom said softly. "We thought you just liked helping." I took out the binder I'd made, every payment, every dollar. "This is what helping looks like," I said. "But this," I gestured around the quiet house, "this is what taking looks like." No one spoke. For the first time, there was no defense, no excuses, just the heavy truth sitting between us. Then Mom said something I didn't expect. "Can you help us fix it?" I should have said no. I wanted to. But I also knew that true revenge isn't watching people drown, it's teaching them how to swim after they've mocked you for carrying a life raft. So I said, "I'll help you learn, not help you pay." Over the next few weeks, I taught them. I sat with Dad, showed him how to budget, how to schedule payments. I helped Mom cancel subscriptions she didn't even know she had. I taught them what I'd learned the hard way: responsibility isn't punishment, it's power. It wasn't easy. Mom cried sometimes. Dad got defensive. But slowly, something changed. They stopped asking for handouts. They started asking for advice. And then, one night, Dylan showed up. He looked different, quieter, humbled. "I lost my job," he said. "I know I messed up. I just want to start over." I looked at him for a long time. "You didn't just mess up, Dylan. You burned bridges. But if you're serious, build new ones. Don't expect me to carry you." He nodded. And for once, he didn't argue. By Christmas, the house was different. No grand feast, no expensive gifts. Just candles, soup, and a small, real kind of peace. Mom handed me a card. Inside it was a handwritten note: "Thank you for teaching us what love looks like when money isn't involved." That night, I cried. Not because I was sad, but because I was finally seen. Months later, things got better. Dylan found a stable job. Mom started a small baking business from home. Dad finally learned how to manage money. And me. I invested in myself. I bought my own condo, started a podcast about boundaries, and named the first episode "Ban from Thanksgiving" and why it saved my life. It went viral. People wrote from all over, strangers who'd been scapegoated, ignored, used, and finally found peace through saying no. I realized I wasn't alone. Then, a year later, on Thanksgiving morning, my phone buzzed. Mom's name lit up on the screen. For a moment, I hesitated. Then I answered. "Dinner's at 6, she said softly. "No conditions. Just family." I paused. "I'll bring dessert," I said. That evening, I walked into the same dining room where I'd once been unwelcome. The air was lighter. Dylan hugged me first. Mom smiled, nervous but sincere. Dad poured wine, his eyes soft with gratitude. When Mom said grace, she ended with, "And thank you for second chances." I looked around the table, and for the first time in years, it felt like home, not because I paid for it, but because I earned my peace there. And as I took my first bite of pie, I realized something. The best revenge isn't making them suffer. It's watching them grow without you, until they learn how to love you right.